Buckingham Palace, a name synonymous with tradition, duty, and unwavering stoicism. But behind those imposing stone walls, a different drama often unfolds. A silent war waged with whispered words, strategic alliances, and calculated betrayals. The British monarchy, for all its pomp and circumstance, is still at its heart a family. And families, as we all know, can be the most treacherous battlegrounds of all. The year is not so long ago. The chill of late autumn hangs heavy in the London air, a fitting backdrop to the icy undercurrents swirling within the palace. The third anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II's passing is fast approaching, a day of remembrance for the nation. But for William and Kate, it is a deeply personal moment to honor a beloved grandmother. They are meticulously planning the memorial service, poring over guest lists, fine-tuning speeches, and selecting outfits. The image they project to the world is one of unity and harmony, a royal family united in grief and respect. But appearances, as they say, can be deceiving. Beneath the veneer of royal decorum, a plot is brewing, a conspiracy designed to undermine Kate, the Princess of Wales, and diminish her influence within the monarchy. At the center of this scheme is Camilla, the queen consort, a woman who has long been perceived as a somewhat reluctant royal, but who in reality is a shrewd and calculating player in the Game of Thrones. Camilla has always existed in Kate's shadow. While Kate embodies youth, grace, and the unwavering adoration of the public, Camilla carries the weight of a complicated past, a history forever intertwined with the tragic figure of Princess Diana. Despite her marriage to Charles, now king, Camilla has never quite managed to fully escape Diana's long shadow. And Kate, with her effortless charm and genuine connection with the people, represents a constant reminder of the princess who could have been. The memorial service for Queen Elizabeth presents Camilla with an opportunity, a chance to subtly shift the power dynamics within the royal family. She sees Kate as a threat, a rival for the public's affection, and, perhaps more importantly, for the king's ear. And so, she sets in motion a plan to exclude Kate from the memorial, to paint her as weak and unwell, and to diminish her standing within the monarchy. In a hushed meeting held in a secluded chamber within the palace, Camilla issues a chilling order to her most trusted advisors. Kate will not attend this memorial. The reason? Ill health, of course. A perfectly plausible explanation, one that will be readily accepted by the public. After all, everyone knows the pressures of royal life, the relentless schedule, the constant scrutiny. It's easy to imagine that even the seemingly indefatigable Kate might be feeling the strain. But William knows the truth. He knows that Kate is not ill, that she has been working tirelessly alongside him to prepare for the memorial. He recognizes Camilla's maneuver for what it is, a calculated attempt to sideline his wife and consolidate her own power. And he is not about to let it stand. The discovery of Kate's name being removed from the guest list sends a shockwave through William. He feels a surge of anger, a fierce protectiveness towards his wife. He knows that Camilla is underestimating him, that she believes he is too naive, too trusting to see through her machinations. But William is not the docile prince she imagines him to be. He is a man of quiet determination, a future king who is fiercely loyal to his family, and he is about to unleash the full force of his power to defend Kate against Camilla's insidious plot. The battle lines are drawn. The stage is set. The drama is about to begin. The palace system, a labyrinth of digital corridors, becomes William's hunting ground. He meticulously retraces the steps of the intruder, the digital ghost who dared to erase his wife. The trail, though cleverly obscured, leads to a high-level internal account. Frustratingly, all identifiable information has been scrubbed clean, leaving only the faintest digital footprint. A single edit command, silent, hidden, and undeniably deliberate. Meanwhile, Kate, blissfully unaware of the digital battle raging behind the scenes, begins to sense a shift in the atmosphere. The staff, once so warm and welcoming, now cast furtive glances, their whispers following her like shadows. "I heard the princess isn't feeling well," one murmurs. "She won't be at the memorial," another speculates. Initially, she dismisses these comments as meaningless chatter, the kind of gossip that inevitably swirls within the palace walls. But as the whispers multiply, they begin to feel like needles, pricking deeper and deeper into her confidence. Concern etches itself onto Kate's face. Has William heard these rumors? She longs to ask him to share her anxieties, but he seems increasingly absorbed in his royal duties, his brow furrowed in concentration. She tries to shake off her worries, but the persistent murmurs leave her feeling isolated, vulnerable. Is she imagining things, or is something truly amiss? The following morning, one of William's longtime advisors, a loyal aide who has served the royal household for more than 3 decades, approaches him. His face is pale, his composure shaken. "Your Highness, you need to look at this," he says, his hands trembling as he hands over a tablet. Displayed on the screen is a record of system modifications, the erased edit logs meticulously reconstructed. Her name was intentionally removed from the official guest list, and there's already a prepared media rollout scheduled for release once approval is given, the advisor whispers, fear edging into his voice. William examines each line carefully, his anger simmering beneath a veneer of royal composure. The manipulated document, the coordinated media plan, the erased system data, it all points to one unavoidable conclusion. Someone is orchestrating a plan to keep Kate away from this important event. But who? And why? Only one person has the authority and the motive to pull off such a brazen act. Later that day, William confronts Camilla in the royal tea room. She is sitting comfortably, enjoying her afternoon tea as though nothing unusual is happening within the palace walls. Her expression is mild, almost serene, but William detects a glint of coldness behind her gentle eyes. "I'm glad to hear everything is moving along well," Camilla remarks, placing her teacup down with a delicate clink. "I'm excited to see all of you shine at the memorial." William holds her gaze, his voice measured but firm. "We are prepared, Your Majesty. Everything is set." The emphasis on "we" is subtle but unmistakable. Camilla's pleasant expression remains in place, but a flash of steely resolve flickers beneath it. She understands his message perfectly. He knows. William turns and walks away, leaving her alone in the room. As he passes the window, he catches his own reflection. He is no longer just the future king, the dutiful prince. He is a husband, a protector, standing guard against an unseen threat targeting his wife. And he realizes that this confrontation is only the beginning. The official document has been officially modified. Kate's name has vanished. The palace has begun buzzing with rumors heavy with anxiety. While William senses the looming storm, Camilla, seated at her private desk, allows herself a faint, satisfied smile. She lifts a pen and draws a single deliberate line through Kate's printed name on a physical guest list. The gesture is precise, controlled, a quiet mark of victory, or so she thinks. The following morning, London awakes beneath a faint layer of mist. Yet within the royal inner circle, the tension blazes hotter than ever. A wave of major newspapers and sensational tabloids releases a shocking headline: "Princess Kate to Miss Queen's memorial due to health concerns." The reports feign concern but brim with curiosity, igniting heated discussions across the public sphere. Social media explodes with speculation about Kate's well-being. Is the Princess of Wales really that sick? Is she collapsing under the weight of royal expectations? Online forums churn with questions and theories, each more dramatic than the last. Some voices express compassion, while others respond with disappointment, hinting that her absence suggests she isn't resilient enough for her responsibilities. The image Kate has cultivated, radiant, energetic, dedicated, begins to flicker under the avalanche of commentary. Inside his office, William clutches one of the newspapers, every printed line cutting into him like a blade. He knows better than anyone that Kate isn't unwell. He has watched her exercise late into the evenings, heard her laughter as she played with their children. This isn't an innocent misunderstanding. It's a calculated, poisonous strike aimed directly at her. Anger surges inside him, but he forces himself to stay composed. A reckless move now would only tighten the trap around them. He calls in the head of the royal communications team, a former journalist known for his loyalty and discretion. Locking eyes with him, William asks in a steady, unyielding voice, "Who released this story, and who approved it?" The communications chief hesitates, his expression faltering as he looks away. "Your Highness, the story spread beyond our control. Too many outlets ran it at once. It appears to have come from a confidential insider." William instantly recognizes the lie. He can see the fear behind the man's evasive gaze. The palace's internal communications are rigorously monitored. Massive leaks don't spontaneously erupt. Only someone wielding significant authority could unleash a coordinated media rollout of this scale. While the outside world buzzes with speculation, Kate endures her bleakest hours. Confined to her private room, she attempts to ignore her ringing phone and the flood of sympathetic messages. A suffocating loneliness settles over her. The circulating rumors strike painfully. In the royal environment, any hint of frailty meant being pushed aside. Would the public now perceive her as weak, as a burden, as a princess incapable of fulfilling her role? The questions spin through her mind, tightening like a knot in her chest. Meanwhile, William sits in his office, feeling helpless. He knows someone is behind this plot, yet he has no tangible evidence. He needs a lead, something he can use. He begins searching through his inbox for anything unusual. And then he finds an odd email sent from an anonymous address containing no text, only a single attachment. William hesitates, but instinct urges him to open it. Inside is a polished media crisis document masterfully drafted, outlining a full response plan for Kate's supposed absence. Every element is scripted references to health-related reasons, depictions of Kate as someone requiring rest, and a rollout strategy for managing public reaction. But the part that stops William cold is at the end, a forged electronic signature perfectly mimicking Kate's, alongside the statement, "I approve this plan." Signed, Catherine. The discovery hits William like a physical strike. He stares at the fake signature, fury boiling beneath his skin. This isn't just a media scheme. It's an act of identity theft, an effort to turn Kate into nothing more than a prop in someone else's narrative. Whoever engineered this didn't merely want her absent from the memorial. They wanted to dismantle her public image to convince the world she had willingly embraced her own fragility. William rises and steps onto the balcony. The crisp autumn breeze brushes against him, but his anger burns hotter, fierce, and unwavering. He will not allow this assault on his wife to stand. He will find the one responsible, and he will bring them down. A hidden battle is beginning, one fought not with weapons, but with strategies, secrets, and betrayal. William understands he has to move with caution. His foe isn't some distant enemy. It might be someone alarmingly close. He looks toward Windsor Castle, where Camilla sits in her office. The steady glow from her window pierces the mist, radiating authority and control. William tightens his hold on the email, realizing this is no ordinary royal dispute. This is a fight to protect his family, his marriage, and the truth itself. After discovering the forged media strategy, William chose not to rush into action. He understood that fury was a snare. His opponent wasn't a blunt force enemy, but a master manipulator. To win, he needed restraint and strategy. His first move was to investigate, to transform his suspicions into indisputable fact, and the person he intended to probe was Queen Camilla herself. William scheduled an unusual afternoon meeting with her. Outwardly, everything seemed polite. They chatted about the weather, forthcoming royal engagements, and the charity work he had recently completed. But William's focus never wavered. He watched her every gesture, waiting for the smallest crack, any hint of truth slipping through. Camilla maintained an air of peace, though her eyes carried an extra edge. She spoke of Kate with rehearsed sympathy. "I've heard she's been pushing herself too hard," she murmured, her tone gentle yet deliberate. "You should allow her time to rest. Maybe step back from public duties for a while. It would be healthier for both of you." Her words formed the shape of concern, but to William, they were a disguised attack. She was insinuating that Kate lacked strength, that she wasn't suited for the future role awaiting her. He steeled himself. "Kate is resilient," he replied calmly. "She manages everything with balance." Their dialogue continued, but it felt like a strategic duel. Camilla slipped in delicate cuts, hinting at Kate's alleged inadequacies and the burdens she supposedly placed on the monarchy. She subtly proposed that William think about a more dependable option for the years ahead. William kept his composure, though each insinuation felt like a knife slicing deeper. When the meeting ended, William had no doubt left. Camilla was orchestrating the entire attack. He moved quickly. Quietly, he contacted private investigators he had relied on before, assigning them a single task: find proof tying Camilla to the tabloids. In the following days, William lived under immense strain. Outwardly, he upheld the image of a prince, attending engagements, shaking hands, discussing state matters, but privately his thoughts never left the unfolding inquiry. He understood the risk he was taking, yet he knew he had no alternative. This wasn't only about protecting Kate, it was about exposing the truth. The investigators dug relentlessly, examining financial transfers, coded emails, and secret meetings. Gradually, the pieces surfaced. Confidential reports revealed that Camilla had covertly funded a network of tabloids, publications that had been attacking Kate for months. Large payments channeled through intermediary accounts led back to one origin, a charitable trust overseen by one of Camilla's most loyal advisors. William studied the evidence, photos, bank logs, decrypted communications. He saw headlines that called Kate extravagant or unfit to be queen consort. His chest tightened as he read them. He had suspected this manipulation, but witnessing the proof firsthand shattered him differently. That night, William sat alone in a dim room, the windows rattling with steady rain. Camilla's smooth, calculated remarks echoed in his mind, her voice sweet yet poisonous. He thought of all the emotional wounds Kate had endured. The fury inside him blazed like a storm. Under his breath, he said, "If it's war you want, I won't step aside." It wasn't spoken in anger alone, it was a promise. He would not allow his wife to be harmed any further. He would not permit cruelty to triumph. His fight would be waged not just with royal authority, but with the unbreakable devotion of a husband. The real conflict had begun, and William intended to lead it head on. Outside, the wind roared, but within him a cold, determined resolve hardened. He recognized the dangerous road ahead, one capable of reshaping everything, but he accepted it. He would not yield. He would defend the truth and the woman he loved with every ounce of strength he had. In the aftermath of the media frenzy, life inside Kensington Palace grew increasingly suffocating. Rumors pressed in on Kate from every direction, forming a tightening circle of isolation. She felt like a caged bird in a gilded prison, every movement observed, every expression judged. Her phone rang without pause, yet every call, friends and relatives asking, "Are you all right?" felt empty. Their concern, though well-intentioned, cut her anew each time, reminding her of the falsehoods spreading uncontrollably. The isolation soon became brutally tangible. People who once greeted her with warmth now offered only stiff nods. Courtiers cast fleeting glances at her, full of artificial pity, as if she were someone fading away. With each day, Kate felt herself sinking into an unseen snare crafted with meticulous cruelty. Though she held her composure on the outside, inside she was unraveling, battling a storm she couldn't show. One pale afternoon, a supposedly kind royal advisor, a woman in her 50s with a permanent soft smile, knocked on Kate's office door. Kate recognized her well. She frequently attended briefings and often dispensed seasoned counsel. She entered carrying a pristine white envelope, placing it gently on the desk. "Your Highness, this is a letter from Prince William," she said, her tone heavy with sympathy. "He's worried about your health and thinks stepping away from the memorial would be the wisest choice." Kate eyed the envelope wearily, an uneasy chill creeping up her spine. She opened it. Inside was a formal letter printed on official paper bearing William's crest. The message was short, stating she needed rest and had chosen to withdraw from the memorial. At the bottom was William's signature. Kate's chest tightened. She examined the signature, searching desperately for an inconsistency, but it was perfect. William's handwriting to the last stroke. Her blood ran cold. A wave of disbelief washed over her. How could William do this? Had he truly begun to doubt her strength, or had someone coerced him into agreeing to this? Her mind raced. She remembered the public gossip, Camila's subtle digs, and now this letter. Had her trust been misplaced? Did William view her as an obstacle? Tears burned at her eyes. She felt abandoned not only by the world outside, but inside her own household. The advisor remained beside her. "Your Highness, signing here will help ease the situation. It will buy you time to recover," she suggested softly, placing a pen within Kate's reach. Kate stayed silent. She stared at the document, at the signature she wished she could deny. Signing meant validating Camila's narrative that she was frail and unsuitable. Refusing meant walking straight into a firestorm, risking an even larger public explosion. She was being positioned as a pawn in a conflict she had never chosen. A battle raged inside her. A question she never imagined she would have to ask rose to the surface. Had William changed? Then came another blow. News that one of her most loyal aides, an older woman who had served her faithfully for years, had been suddenly dismissed. The reason cited unprofessional conduct and leaking information. Shocked, Kate found her before she left. "I only told a friend you were preparing your dress for the memorial," the woman whispered, trembling. "I didn't think it was a secret." The words struck Kate hard. She understood now. Whoever was monitoring her wasn't just watching what she said. They were tracking her movements, her private conversations, even her preparations. The realization of constant surveillance sent a chill deep into her bones. The palace, once familiar, now felt like a cage filled with unseen watchers. That night, Kate stood alone in her quarters, gazing at the gown set aside for the memorial. A deep blue dress shimmering softly like nightfall. She touched the fabric, fingers gliding over the delicate stitching. Tears streamed down her face, not from fear, but from fury and heartbreak. Yet something in her expression shifted. The grief hardened into determination. The dress wasn't merely an outfit. It was a statement, an oath. It represented duty, loyalty, truth. She wouldn't let it remain untouched in her wardrobe. She wouldn't step aside. Despite everything, despite the traps, the whispers, the betrayal, she would attend, not in defiance, but to show that deceit could never extinguish what was real. Holding the gown, Kate looked at herself in the mirror, her eyes shining with resolve and lingering tears. She had been pushed into isolation, but she would not bow. The battle had begun, and she was ready to fight.